everybody, this is Sky. And when I want to know what's going on in the wonderful world of sports, I tune to Sports World Radio.
Hey, this is J-Man from Autopsy Live and the Skype Pirates. When I want to make it look like I give a shit about sports, I tune into Sports World Radio with Jeff Escow.
Jeff
Doing Bob time! Doing Bob time! Got myself a problem!
Live from San Diego, it's Sports World Radio. You've never heard a sports show like this. Oh, no, you haven't.
Oh, blow me.
You got it.
Holy fucking shit.
What in the hell is your major malfunction?
Can't believe that goddamn son of a bitch did that fucking crap.
Don't give me any of your shit.
Right?
Yeah, that's right. Those are your hosts, Jeff Ascow and Sean Mann. Remember, those who can't play sports, talk about it. These two tell it like it is. Tune into Sports World Radio for the fastest hour of sports of your life. So here they are, the douchebags of sports themselves, Jeff Ascow and Sean Mann.
Hey, what's up, everybody, and welcome to Sports World Radio. Glad everybody could be with us today. We got a jam-packed show. I am your host, Jeff Escow. Lots and lots and lots to get to today. I don't know what's going to happen in the second half of the show because I don't know. I don't even know what's going to happen in the first half of the show. But we're going to treat this show like our Friday show. But if Ron Gallo shows up, then it's going to be a Wednesday show all of a sudden. So who knows what's going to happen on today's show? It's a free-for-all. Welcome to Sports World Radio. We're going to have lots and lots of fun. Last show of the week, like I said yesterday, today is the last show of the week. I will be, I have a commitment I need to take care of for the next 4 days, so no shows until Monday. So everybody have a great, great weekend with that. We're going to have a lot of fun today, so get ready for that. Let's get all the particulars out of the way, and then we'll get started with this freaking show here. SportsWorldRadio.com is the place to listen to the show. SportsWorldRadio.com. If you're over there right now, hit that donate button and donate to the cause here at Sports World Radio and help us keep doing what we like to do here at Sports World Radio, and that's entertain you with some kick-ass sports talk 2 hours a day every Monday through Friday right here on SportsWorldRadio.com. So do that while you're hanging out at Sports World Radio during a commercial or whatever. Now, if you're over at Sports World Radio and you want to come and hang out in our chat room, head on over to Spreaker.com. You can continue to listen to us over at SportsWorldRadio.com. Head on over to Spreaker.com. Get yourself a free account. Okay? It's free. Get yourself a free account. Type in Sports World Radio. Little show will show up at the bottom of your screen. Go over to the right-hand side. You'll see the bubble there. Click the bubble. Chat room will open up, and you can start chatting away with us. Now, if you don't want to do that, you can give us a call at 619-663-3715. That's 619-663-3715. Or, if you're a Skype user, give us a call on Skype at Sports World Radio Show. That's Sports World Radio Show on Skype. Another way to get in touch with us here on Sports World Radio is by email, swrshow@gmail.com. That's swrshow@gmail.com. I think I got all the particulars out of the way, except for Facebook.com/SportsWorldRadio, Facebook.com/SportsWorldRadio, and as well as Twitter.com/SportsWorldRadio, Twitter.com/SportsWorldRadio. Thanks, Josh, for putting that up there. Josh Lopez, the program director and producer of Sports World Radio, just reminded me we got something new coming out. Hopefully by in a couple of weeks. I'm still putting it all together. It's called SWR's Sports Shorts. What that means is you will be able to hear the conversations that Sean and I have during the commercial breaks. So when you guys are listening to the commercials, Sean and I sometimes can continue the conversation during the commercial break, or sometimes we change the topic during the commercial break and we have a whole new show right there during the commercial break and you guys don't even know it. But now you'll be able to hear all that stuff. I'm in the process of putting it together. It's going to take me a little longer because I got to do this thing over the weekend, but I'll get it together. It's going to be called SWR's Sports Shorts. You're going to get weekly. You'll get weekly. It's not going to be daily. It's going to be weekly. I'm going to send you guys, whoever signs up is going to get weekly sports shorts in their emails with all the commercial breaks of me and Sean and whoever is on for the week during the commercial breaks as well. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it. I know the guys are too. They're having a lot of fun with it during the commercial breaks. We are having a lot of fun with it. So get ready for that. Now, with all the particulars out of the way, what do you say, hey, we bring in that rat bastard himself, the update man himself, Sean Mann. What's going on there, buddy?
I'm doing good, Jeff. Welcome, everybody, to Sports World Radio. It's Wednesday, March 18th, 2015. It's 6:08 p.m. on the East Coast, which makes it 3:08 p.m. on the West. Weather right now, very cool. The rain has stopped. It's sunshiny. It's a nice, cool, beautiful day out here in the land of potatoes. Shout-outs to Kathy, Josh Lopez, and guess what? Sky High is in the house.
I see my brother. Hey, my brother, man, Sky High, who's been probably working his ass off. Good for him. Working his butt off, doing some things out there where he lives. Haven't seen or heard from him in a while. Nice for him to show up in the chat room. All right, mister. So it's cold out there in Idaho, in the land of potatoes. You know there's only two things that come out of Idaho, right?
What's that? Potatoes and...
hose. You know that. It's cold out there in Idaho, huh?
Yeah, it's nice and cool. It rained yesterday for St. Patrick's Day, but now it's nice and cool.
Nice and cool. Well, good for you, because it's nice and hot out here. I turned the air conditioner off about 3 minutes before we went on the air. It was freaking hot, man. We're in a heat wave. I told you yesterday. Freaking 95, 100 degrees out here, man. It's like the middle of the summer in March. What the hell's going on here? It's not nice, man.
Sky High. Idaho, you da pimp.
That's right, man. You da pimp Idaho. So, yeah, hey, and, you know, it's March. We're getting ready for a lot of things. March Madness is coming. A couple of games were last night. Sean's going on another vacation in a couple of months. A lot of things going on here at Sports World Radio. We're going to have a lot of fun today. What do you say we get started, my friend?
All right, the first story we move to, the Dallas Cowboys have made some news today.
Big deal.
They signed this guy named Greg Hardy, a one-year contract, $11.3 million with the Dallas Cowboys. Jerry Jones is very excited about the news.
Is it an $11.3 million deal?
Yeah, 1 year, $11.3 million.
Yeah, but his base salary, if I remember correctly, $13.1 million?
Yep.
But has a minimum of a base salary. So basically he's making 750. What the hell? Okay, I'm looking right at it now. I have it right now. He gets a workout bonus of $1.3 million. Okay? He's going to make $745,000. That's his salary. $745,000. Okay? He gets a workout bonus of $1.3 million. And then he gets a 53 MPG ARB, $9.2 million. And then he has incentives. For 8 sacks, for every sack up to 8, he gets $500,000. Or 10 sacks, he gets $1 million. Or 12 sacks, he gets $1.4 million. Or 14 sacks, he gets $1.8 million. So he's got $1.8 million worth of incentives, which brings the grand total to $13.1 million. His base salary is $745,000. He's got $11 million in incentives. Are you freaking kidding me?
Josh goes, idiot. He's wasting his time there. There's not going to change anything. There's not going to change anything because the Cowboys don't have a secondary. You rat bastard, Jerry Jones. This guy should be on the Bears. He's a moron.
The Dallas Cowboys did not want to pay DeMarco Murray more than $5 million a year, but they're giving this schmuck $13 million?
Yep.
Does that make any freaking sense whatsoever?
No, and I'm sure if you were asking Jerry Jones that, he would have perspective on why he made this deal and why he was happy to get Mr. Hardy.
And you know what that 53 MPG ARB, you know what that stands for?
What?
Okay, Adam Schefter says, for those who ask, MPG ARB in Greg Hardy's one-year deal with Dallas is a 53-man roster spot. So basically, if he's on the roster every week, he gets a bonus every single week. That's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous.
His base salary is $745,000. But he could make up to $13.4 million.
That's right.
Okay? All he has to do is be on the 53-man roster every week, and he gets a $9 million bonus just for being on the roster. Are you freaking kidding me?
That's all Jerry Jones doing that.
That's ridiculous. And the club also agrees not to franchise tag or transition tag him as the player. How about that? He got that in his contract that they can't franchise or or put the transition tag on him. Unfreaking believable. You give him $13 million, but you won't give freaking DeMarco Murray, who you ran into the ground, $5 million a year? What the hell's the matter with you, Jerry Jones?
Josh goes, it makes even more difficult to spend the money for Adrian Peterson. Moron.
That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. I wonder what did your pimp Skippy Bayless say about that?
I can't wait to hear the Skippy quotes. I'm sure, Josh, he said something about this move with Hardy.
That's ridiculous. For a defensive guy, are you kidding me? You got no freaking secondary. You got no freaking running game now. What are you, a moron? Now you're going to go after and get Adrian Peterson? Which makes no freaking sense because he's going to get $13 million this year and you wouldn't give DeMarco Murray $5. The hell's the matter with you?
You know what's going to end up happening. After this move, Jerry Jones is probably going to say he's all happy. Now it's time to make the push to get Mr.
Hey, Chaba.
Who do we know? Adrian Peterson.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Now he's going to go after Adrian Peterson, who the Vikings have a contract with, and he's getting $13 million this year. So in other words, you're going to go get Adrian Peterson, pay him $13 million this year, and you're going to have Greg Hardy on your team, and you're going to pay him $13 million. That's $26 million for two stinking players. Okay? You got 51 other guys you got to pay. What the hell are you doing over there? Unstinking believable. That makes no freaking sense whatsoever. And how old is Hardy?
26 years old.
26. He has 27 sacks in the last 32 games. So in other words, if he gets 14 sacks or more, he gets $1.8 million bonus.
Yep.
Unfreaking believable. He gets $1 million bonus every week just for being on the 53-man roster. Just for being on the roster. Are you kidding me?
Shabbat goes, Jerry Jones strikes again. Hey, guys.
Are you freaking kidding me? That's freaking ridiculous, man. Unbelievable. The workout bonus would be payable on a weekly basis during the off-season workout period. So he has a workout bonus of $1.3 million. So if he does workout during the off-season, he gets paid that too. What the hell? You're just throwing money at anybody, aren't you, Jerry Jones? You're just throwing money at the wall and seeing what sticks, aren't you?
He'll probably keep thinking, I believe I'm doing a great job as general manager of the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, you're doing such a fantastic job. You let DeMarco Murray go because you didn't want to give him more than $5 million a year. I understand. He's going to turn around to me and say, well, his salary is only $745 million. Yeah, but if he hits all his incentives, you're paying him $13 million. Look at it like that. If he hits all his incentives, he gets 14 sacks, right? He hits all his incentives, you're paying him $13 million, and you don't make the playoffs? That's ridiculous. And now you're going to go get Adrian Peterson, who's going to be making $13 million this year too? What is Tony Romo making, $10 million a year?
I think so, because he believes he's found his future starting quarterback.
So you're looking at three players who are making $30 million a year on that freaking team.
Tony Romo only has a few years left. Dallas wants to win the Super Bowl and end this little playoff, actually not little, this long drought. I'm sure Jerry Jones' mindset says it's got to be this year. It's got to be sooner or later because it is 20 years right now, Jeff, since the Dallas Cowboys have not won a Super Bowl. So here they go and they go get Hardy. They had a rough week because they lost to Marco Murray, and now they're going to pursue, in my opinion, and we all are seeing it coming, he's going to go out there and get Adrian Peterson because Adrian Peterson has to be reinstated in the NFL on April 15th. So Dallas is trying to do what they can to retain the NFC East division and overtake the Giants, the Redskins, and the other team, which is the Eagles.
Right. And I listen, I happen to think that this is the Giants' division to lose right now. One of those stupid moves that Philadelphia is making and what Dallas is doing now, unbelievable. Okay? I don't get it. This is the Giants' division to lose. Especially since they upgraded their wide receiver. They got a running back. Okay, they picked up some good defensive players. They're working on their offensive line. They're doing what they're supposed to be doing in the offseason. I think this is the Giants' division to lose. And I know there's going to be a lot of people in the chat room and on the show that's going to disagree with me. And that's fine. I don't give a crap. Guess what? You don't have a microphone and I do. So you got to listen to me. I don't have to listen to you.
Shabbat goes, the NFC East will be next year's weak sister division. And yep, the Giants are a decent defense away from winning it.
I think
At
so.
about 8-8, though.
No, I don't think they'll be 8-8. I think they'll be better than 8-8.
You kind of predicting like 14-2 or 12-4 for the Giants, Jeff?
They could be 10-6. I'm okay with 10-6. As long as they beat Dallas twice and the Eagles twice, I'm okay.
And the Redskins twice because you think of Gary One-Arm.
Yeah. Yeah, your Eagles are sucking eggs because they're thinking about bringing in Tim Tebow, who hasn't played football in years. I read an article yesterday about Tim Tebow. Why I read the article is because he's been working out for the last 18 months here in San Diego with the quarterback guru. And the quarterback guru has totally changed his throwing motion. And says now he's ready for the NFL. Bull donkey. I don't believe it. Wait till he gets hit. Let's see if he's ready for the NFL. I don't believe it. I'm just saying. Sean?
Yeah, I agree with you, too, because that NFC East, let's see, Shabbat goes, Redskins are going to be quarterbacked by Gary One-Arm pretty soon. Oh, no. How about that, Jeff? Gary One-Arm, the quarterback of the Redskins.
Gary One-Arm can't even freaking do anything, let alone quarterback the Redskins. Okay,
I got tagged on Facebook last night by Gary One-Arm. He had a video because the Cowboy fans were burning up DeMarco Murray's jersey last night because he went from Dallas to Philadelphia last week. But you know they're going to be thrilled to see this move by with Adrian Peterson. If they can get that move worked out.
They'll get it worked out.
They'll
get it worked out.
Everybody is saying LMAO, Jeff. He's probably thinking the Eagles will have everything it takes to win the division.
No, he won't. Everybody in the world knows that Adrian Peterson wants to be in Dallas. They just got to make the trade happen. It's got to be a trade. Because Minnesota wants to keep Peterson. But I don't think Peterson wants to stay in Minnesota anymore.
I think there's going to be a divorce between Peterson and the Vikings. I know Minnesota wants to bring him back. They want to patch everything up, but there's nothing to patch up because if Adrian Peterson's saying, didn't have good relationship with the Minnesota Vikings, it's time to move on and find another team to go to. So we'll see what happens. Let's see, in the chat room, Kathy says Patriots will win again next season. Kathy, I'm telling you the truth. Okay, I'm speaking as an honest Patriot fan.
You're in
I
trouble.
don't know if we're going to win again next season. I'm sorry to say it. New England has lost Vince Wilfork and Darrelle Revis, and they've lost Shane Vereen. I would be very concerned right now, and I have to speak about that. They're losing their defensive players, so you better hope and pray they better do something soon. Otherwise, New England, will probably make the playoffs maybe as a wild card team, but may not get very far next year. I'm just speaking honestly as a Patriot fan.
Wow.
Not trying to be biased, saying, oh, they're going to do everything right.
Wow. Look at Sean. He's growing up. I love that about you, buddy.
You learn as you go.
You know what, Sean? I have
what the big moves are for the off season. I'm just saying that. Yeah, that's right, Shabba. The losses. They declined that option with Revis. That hurt them. Vince Wilfork decided to take his talents to Houston and play with the Houston Texans. New England has to fill up their defense very quickly. I know you got your faith all the time, Kathy, but you got to look at the whole principle of the thing.
I can't wait.
I'm telling you.
I can't wait until he starts talking about that about the Boston Red Sox.
Yeah, I knew you were going to hit me with that.
He does it. He did it last year when Boston was done. He admitted it. They stink. He was cool with that. I like that. Patriots is a different story with this rat bastard.
You have to be honest.
Okay.
That's the thing. The Baltimore Ravens, they made news 24 minutes after the hour. They have decided to cut Bernard Pierce only hours after the reserve running back was arrested and charged with driving under the influence of alcohol early Wednesday morning. Pierce was the third Ravens player to be arrested this offseason, and the Ravens have now cut all three within a day of learning of their off-field incident. So another player busted. First you got Ray Rice, and now you got Bernard Pierce. It's tough to be a Ravens fan. Hey, Adrian, if you're listening out there, what's the matter with your team? Getting in trouble.
What's the matter? What's the matter with your team? Major trouble. Aren't they?
Major trouble.
Yeah, Adrian. What's the matter with your team? Huh?
Not news. Pierce is just like Cedric Benson. He can't stay away from the liquor and the weed. A good point, Josh. Yep. What's your thoughts on the Ravens, Jeff? First it's Ray Rice, and now Bernard Pierce busted.
Well, Bernard Pierce is busted, and they lost one of their wide receivers. They're gonna have a little trouble. They're gonna have a little trouble. The Ravens.
My big question and big concern for the AFC North, with the Ravens losing some key pieces, whose division is it to win? I still would probably say that, here I am saying it on a March
Cincinnati.
18th, and a lot of things can change in the upcoming months, but I still would say Cincinnati.
It's Cincinnati's division to win and lose. And I don't care. West comes in here and says, well, Big Ben just signed a big contract. He's going to be there for – I don't give a flying fig Newton. They're old.
And he would say to you, in the Berg, Jeff, in the Berg.
Yeah, in the Berg. In the Berg are a bunch of losers because they haven't won crap in years. Yeah, in the Berg. Yeah, the Berg's doing really good. What happened to the Pittsburgh Steelers every year? Huh? I hear this every year. They're going to do it. They're going to do it. But they're not around. I hear about the Pirates. They're going to do it. They're going to do it. They're not around. I hear about the Penguins. They're going to do it. They're going to do it. They're not around. Nothing. The Berg this, the Berg that. The Berg hosts a bunch of losers. That's what they do.
The question.
You having Skype problems over there, Junior? Seems like Sean is having a little Skype problems over there. The Berg, my butt. You know what I think about the Berg? It's freezing in the Berg right now. It's really cold in the Berg. Yeah, Sean is having little Skype issues, eh, buddy? The weather out there is frightful. Out there in freaking Idaho land.
The person whom you're trying to reach is currently unavailable.
Yeah, because his phone system stinks. That's why. See if we can get him now. Well, you know what? We're going to run to a quick commercial break. You're listening to Jeff Escow, Sean Man on Sports World Radio. We'll be right back.
This message brought to you by FEMA. Stay fire safe this winter. Turn portable heaters off when you go to bed or leave the room. Keep anything that can burn at least 3 feet away. Plug portable heaters directly into wall outlets. Inspect and replace damaged cords, broken outlets, or loose connections. Use portable heaters with an automatic shutoff so that if they tip over, they turn off. Only use portable heaters approved by a recognized testing laboratory. Learn more at www.usfa.fema.gov.
Did you know that just 30 minutes a day of physical activity can improve your health and decrease your risk of heart disease? For every hour of regular, vigorous exercise, you gain 2 hours of life expectancy. So start walking for yourself and for your heart. Start walking with your family. You'll feel better. Start walking in your community. You'll lead happier and healthier lives. Start walking. Start something. Join the movement today. For more information on the American Heart Association's START program, visit startwalkingnow.org and start walking. Start something.
This message brought to you by FEMA. Home fires occur most often in winter. Keep anything that can catch fire at least 3 feet from heating equipment. And never use an oven to heat your home. Stay in the kitchen when frying, grilling, or broiling food. Turn space heaters off when you leave the room or go to bed. Make sure all vents are clear of snow and ice to allow carbon monoxide to vent outside. Have your furnace, heating system, and chimneys serviced each year by a qualified professional. Learn more at www.usfa.fema.gov.
Chloe is 9 months old.
She is the greatest thing ever.
One little smile, one little laugh. Anybody? We would do anything for her. My name is Kim Bryant, and my husband and I made a will on LegalZoom.
It was really easy to do.
We created LegalZoom to help you take care of the ones you love. Go to LegalZoom.com today and complete your will in minutes. At LegalZoom.com, we put the law on your side.
Hey everybody, this is Sky. And when I want to know what's going on in the wonderful world of sports, I tune to Sports World Radio.
Sports World Radio, Jeff Pascal, Showman, bringing you the fastest 2 hours of sports talk each and every Monday through Friday right here on SportsWorldRadio.com. Seems like we're still having a little technical issues with Sean, but that's okay because I got something that I want to talk about. So I could talk about that while Sean's gone. You know, if I can't get Sean back, it's no big deal. I can freaking do what I want to do anyway. So, hey, Sean, if you can hear my voice, call me back when you can, you rat bastard. All right, so we were talking about football, right? NFL and all the good stuff and all the signings and everything. So I was perusing the internet today, like I like to do, and stuff like that. Josh, get in touch with Sean for me on Skype or something and tell him to call me back. And I was looking at this article that actually says Colts proposed extra point rule changed to NFL. And I was like, what? The Colts, the Indianapolis Colts, are proposing a change rule in the NFL? Extra point change rule? So I started to read this article. And you guys are going to freak out. It's a really two-paragraph article. I'm just going to read it to you really quick. It's freaking unbelievable. Indianapolis Colts made an interesting proposal to the NFL for a potential rule change to extra points. With this proposed rule change, teams would have the potential to score up to 9 points with a touchdown. How, you say? After you score a touchdown, if you go for 2 and make it, you will be given the chance to make a 50-yard field goal for an additional point. Mark Sessler of NFL.com was the first to report this story. To him, he said that it seems like a long shot to happen. The way I see this rule helping is for teams that need to make a comeback or for teams that want to protect the lead. This rule was said to be proposed by the Colts in order to keep fans engaged in the game after touchdown. However, I could very well see the process playing out like this. Touchdown, commercial break. 2-point conversion, commercial break. Bonus field goal, commercial break. And then kickoff. The only way that this rule change would work is if the NFL didn't get carried away with greedy commercials. I don't think we'll have to worry about this becoming a reality since the NFL said they don't want to add any major overhaul changes to the game. So don't worry too much, NFL fans. This rule likely won't see the light of day from the NFL Rules Committee. I wouldn't completely oppose this form happening, but I don't necessarily view myself as an advocate for the rule either. What do you guys think about that? Huh? How crazy is that? Okay? They want a team to have a potential up to be able to score 9 points with a touchdown. 9 stinking points with a touchdown. So after you scored a touchdown, if you go for 2, right, and make it, you will be given the chance to make a 50-yard field goal for an additional point. So if you make the 2, you get to go for a 50-yard field goal. It gives you another point. So you score a touchdown, there's 6, there's the 2, that's 8, and you get all of a sudden you're up 9-0. Come on, man. Really? That's just nuts. I don't get that at all. Do you think fans at the game would be interested in that? I know for a fact that if they do it the way that Sessler says, well, they'll score a touchdown, go to a commercial break, have the 2-point conversion, go to a commercial break, have the bonus field goal, go to a commercial break, and then the kickoff. If you think the football games are long, they're only going to be longer. Are you kidding me? This is just going to lengthen the football games. 9-0, 9 points. That's freaking ridiculous, man. I don't like that at all. I don't like it at all. You know, in fact, personally, I think they should get rid of the field goal altogether. You score a touchdown at 7 points. Done. Finished. Over with. Kick it off and let's go. If you go for the extra point, if you go for the extra 2 points, okay, and you don't get it, see what they should, here, this is what they should do. You score a touchdown at 7 points. You go for 2, and you get it, it's 9. You don't get it, it's still 7. Get rid of the field goal altogether after the touchdown. How about that, boys and girls? Does that sound better? Go for the field goal. No field goals. The only time you go for a field goal is if you don't get the first down and you're in field goal territory. Then you kick it for 3 points. If you score a touchdown, no more point after. It's automatically 7 points a touchdown. If you go for the 2 points, you make it 9. That's how you do it, you jackasses. You get rid of the extra point altogether. Why do I have to be the commissioner of every freaking league around? It's ridiculous, man. Unstinking believable. You know what I'm saying? Unstinking believable. What's the deal with Sean? He doesn't want to come out and play no more? Huh? What did I do? Run him off? What else is new? Look at Shawnee. He doesn't even want to answer his calls no more. I ran him off. How about that? Josh, give me a call, will you? You're the program director. Call the show and tell me which way to go. He probably lost power. Unstinking believable. But how would you like that, sports fans? How would you like to watch a team score a touchdown, then they'll go to commercial break, then you'll come back, they'll go for the 2 points, they'll get the 2 points, they'll go to commercial, they'll come back, and they'll be kicking a field goal for another point. Stupid. You think the games are long then? The hell out of here. They're going to be even longer then. You know what I'm saying? Right, Josh? Games are even going to be longer, right?
Yeah, I'm here.
The games would be longer if they did that. If they did what the Indianapolis Colts proposed, huh?
Yeah, that would be pretty crazy.
That's pretty stupid, ain't it?
And I just wish the NFL actually took care of priorities that really mattered.
And those are?
Worried about the product on the field. They worry more about the money and off the field issues than what's on the field. I think the same thing goes for fans. We worry more about the behind the scenes stuff than what's going on the field, which is not helping the game. But either way, the NFL is not going to go anywhere because people are still putting money in their pockets.
The only place it's not going to go is to L.A. They haven't been there this long. Why go there now?
Yep.
You know?
Is this really going to change anything? I mean, people are still excited no matter how long a football game is. I can see maybe where people have an issue with like a World Series or whatever, where they take forever with commercial breaks. But is there going to have any long-lasting effects with this new rule change?
I don't know, but it's not going to. Do you really think the NFL is going to adopt that?
I hope not.
I don't think so.
I think
the only way they're going to
worry about this NFL draft issue than commercial breaks at their field goals.
The only way they're going to adopt that is if they can get a sponsor to sponsor the 50-yard field goal.
True.
Right? If they get a sponsor like Allstate or whoever, a big sponsor like that, then you know damn freaking well it's going.
Absolutely.
Because they could say this field goal attempt is sponsored by whatever. Boom.
Whoever came up with this rule should be the rat bastard of the week.
It's Indianapolis Colts came up with the rule, man. I sent you the article, right?
Yeah, I got to glance over it a little bit because I barely got home today. I had like a bunch of stuff to do earlier today, but yeah, it's a dumb rule. It's not necessary and it's irrelevant, actually.
This article was written by Grant Aseth, I guess. Grant Aseth.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I saw it and I was like, you got to be kidding me. That's just crazy. Can you imagine?
Mm-hmm.
You get a touchdown, you go for the 2-point conversion, you get the 2-point conversion, now you got to go and kick a 50-yard field goal if you want for an additional point. 9 points. What are you, freaking crazy?
I got a breaking news story for you, Jeff.
Uh-oh, what's breaking now?
From Adam Schefter, the 49ers announced that they officially signed running back Reggie Bush to a 1-year deal.
Well, they had to do something. They lost so many freaking people.
That's not going to change anything because that team's still going to suck.
Yes. No, I agree with you there. That team is not going anywhere at all.
The quarterback is screwed. His best weapon was his coach, and he's no longer there. What's he going to do? I know I beat it to death, but he's a glorified running back. He's not a quarterback.
No, he's not. None of them are.
Yep.
None of them are. You know what I'm saying?
Freaking humps.
No. I agree with you, man. I agree with you totally. It's going to be interesting. I just heard from Ron Gallo. He says he should be here around 4:15-ish. So we should be good to go with Ron today.
That's cool. Maybe after this update we could do the Skippy quotes if you want.
Sure.
That and then the top of the hour before he comes on.
Is Dingleberry back?
He said that he's trying to get his stuff together. So he said something about his computer power or whatever went out, but he said he's fixing it. So
well, let's see. Why don't we? Okay, Josh, let's do this. We're really close up to the 3/4 hour break anyway. So why don't we
do the update?
Yeah. Why don't you do the update, and we'll run to commercial break. And we'll see if we can get Schmedley back on the line.
All
right. Take it away. This is the first update. This update is brought to you by The Flipper. Head on over to flipperflipper.com and get your flipper today. Never, ever, I mean never, ever touch your toilet seat ever again to lift it up or to flip it down. Head on over to flipperflipper.com and get your flipper today. Take it away, Josh Lopez with the first update of the day.
Thank you, Jeff. Welcome, everybody, to Sports World Radio here at 5:43 p.m. Central Time, which makes it 6:43 out in the East. If you live in the West, figure it out for yourself.
Hey!
We got the Indiana Pacers at the Chicago Bulls. We got the Brooklyn Nets at Cleveland. Detroit at Philly. That's going to be a bad game. Portland at Miami. Minnesota at Toronto. Interesting one here. San Antonio against Milwaukee. Boston against OKC. Magic at Dallas. The Clippers at the Kings. Probably the biggest game tonight. The Hawks at the Warriors. Wizards at the Utah Jazz. NHL tonight, the Chicago Blackhawks are taking on the New York Rangers. Columbus Blue Jackets at the Edmonton Oilers. A big divisional game here. Los Angeles Kings at the Anaheim Ducks. MLB for our local teams here. The Cubs are up 7-5 at the top of the ninth against the Dodgers. The White Sox are up 8-4 against the Cincinnati Reds. Looking at here, the Red Sox beat the Twins 3-2, and San Diego's up 5-3 against Colorado at the top of the eighth. This has been your update brought to you by the Flipper. Go to flipperflipper.com. We'll be right back. We'll try to get Sean Mann back here. After this commercial break, we'll start the Skippy Bayless Bash Hour here at Sports World Radio.
I had PTSD. Once I was back from Iraq, I was distant from everybody in my family.
We had a reunion of our unit, and you'd hear these spouses say, "Is your husband doing that? My husband's doing that too. I thought it was just us." And really understanding that, hey, this is a common experience.
I learned more to listen to what he was saying, and that made it easier for me to understand where his pain was coming from.
Warriors should know that resources are available. Learn more at realwarriors.net.
Every parent wants the safest and healthiest products for their family. That's why I created The Honest Company. I was just a concerned mom with a crazy dream. A wish that there was a company that I could rely on that did all of the hard work for me. I'm Jessica Alba, and The Honest Company was my dream.
LegalZoom has helped 1 million businesses successfully get started, including Jessica's. Launch your dream at LegalZoom today. Call us. We're here to help.
Confusion ever someone or have sudden you trouble had speaking, understanding?
Understanding trouble? Have you sudden have or speaking someone ever confusion?
Have you ever had sudden confusion, trouble speaking, or understanding someone?
It could be one of the 5 signs of stroke.
Sudden weakness or numbness of the face, arm, or leg.
Sudden trouble with vision in one or both eyes.
Suddenly having trouble walking or difficulty with balance.
Or a sudden intense headache that comes out of nowhere.
If you or someone you know has any of these symptoms, don't wait. Call 911 immediately. You could make a difference in someone's life, someone you love, maybe even your own.
It's late until, wait, don't too.
Don't wait until it's too late. Time lost is brain lost.
Find out more at powertoendstroke.org. Brought to you by the American Heart Association, American Stroke Association, and the Ad Council.
Hey everybody, this is Sky, and when I want to know what's going on in the wonderful world of sports, I tune to Sports World Radio.
Welcome back to Sports World Radio. Jeff Escal, Sean Mann, and Josh Lopez coming in and hanging out with us, the producer and program director of the show. We're going to do something a little different now. We got Sean back, so we're going to do something a little different. This is going to be the Skippy Bayless Bash Hour, but we're going to have Josh give the quotes, and Sean and I are going to react to them. I think it's a little different than normally the way we do it, right?
Yep.
Okay, so start quoting away, my friend.
Welcome, everybody, to the Skippy Bayless Bash Hour, brought to you by Sports World Radio. If you are an underage kid, I advise you to not listen to this segment. Parental guidance is advised here. Let's start off here. Skippy Bayless said that my show, First Take, is more popular than the president.
Oh, my gosh.
That's a tough one. You know what? That's a tough one right there. Because I think his show is really popular, but I don't think it's because of him. And I think it is probably more popular than the president, but I don't think because of him.
Sean?
I would say Skippy is full of it.
Oh, God. Skippy Bayless says he can't wait for March Madness to get over so he can focus back to the NBA playoff picture.
What was that?
I'd say, Skippy, you're probably just waiting for the Cleveland Cavaliers to win an NBA championship. You just wanted to go so fast so the Cavs could win a championship. Not.
Jeff?
What did he say?
He said he can't wait for March Madness to be over so he could focus on the NBA playoffs.
I don't like that because I'd rather watch college basketball March Madness than the NBA playoffs. I get a little deflated when March Madness is over. Because now you got to watch millionaires play for money.
Mm-hmm. Skippy Bayless said that the only entertaining thing that's going to come out of March Madness is Charles Barkley.
I can tell you one thing. If Charles Barkley's on my TV, the channel changer is going to be awful busy.
He has
like
something.
That.
Yeah.
He has something big.
Look, he's
Josh.
on my
All the
TV right
Skippy
now.
quotes you sent to me, he has something big for Charles Barkley.
He's on my TV right now. I just flipped the channel.
Skippy Bayless said it would be more profitable for the NBA to have the Oklahoma City Thunder in the playoffs instead of the New Orleans Pelicans.
Well, New Orleans Pelicans, as of right now, are in the playoffs.
Well, what do you mean, Jeff? You got OKC. We got Kevin Durant. We got Russell Westbrook.
I don't care. I'm looking at the.
Team.
I don't care. I'm looking at the playoffs right now. As it sits right now, Golden State's number 1, and oh yeah, that's right. The New Orleans Pelicans are number 8. As it sits right now, I am looking at it. It's right in front of me. Skippy, shove it up your ass.
But Mr. Escow, I mean, Anthony Davis is just a one-man show.
Yeah? Okay, great. He's just a one-man show. That one-man show is carrying his team on his back, and you can't even. And Kevin Durant and what's the other dude's name?
Westbrook.
You got 2 guys, and they can't even get their team to the playoffs. Yeah, they're really good.
I like to remind. Go ahead.
Travis says he can focus on the Pelicans grabbing that final seed, Skippy. Last night, the Pelicans won 85-84. I know I saw that, and I was thinking of you last night, Shabba.
I'm looking at the record right now for these sons of bitches, too, okay? They are both 37-30. They have the same percentage at .552. Okay?
Sean, what's your thoughts about that Skippy quote?
Skippy Bayless needs to keep his mouth shut is what he needs to do because right now the Thunder – it would be so cool to see them get bounced out, and it would be really cool to see a new team in the playoffs, which is the New Orleans Pelicans. Skippy will be in his hole crying when he sees that the Thunder don't even make the playoffs.
Skippy Bayless said that the American team from the 1980s is the only team that ever came out of hockey.
Ooh.
That's a strong statement.
I think it is. I agree with Jeff. Strong statement.
That's a strong statement, and he's kind of right. Well, that's not true because Larry Bird and Magic Johnson came in the 80s, and they kind of saved basketball, didn't they?
Yes, they did.
Okay, so that statement's kind of wrong, isn't it?
Well, anything he says is wrong.
And then MJ continued it in the 90s.
Correct. So, yeah, so you turn around to him and says, what about Bird and Johnson saving the NBA in the 80s? That don't count?
You can hit him with that.
Hit him with that and then see what he says.
He probably would say, yeah, but that was a different era. Right now it's LeBron's era.
It's not a different era. You just said, you schmuck, in the 80s. That what happened in the 80s.
Jeff watched it. Jeff was a part of seeing those great matchups between Bird and Magic.
Unbelievable. The best thing to come out of the 80s was the hockey. No, you're wrong. The best thing to come out of the 80s was Larry Bird and Magic Johnson.
You're not going to like this one. Skippy Bayless said, my experience filling out NCAA brackets. The more you know, the better you do.
I don't think so. I think the more you know, the worse you do. And you know what the problem is? He's never going to reveal how bad he actually did in his tournament. You know that. He's never actually going to say, oh, man, my brackets are blown up. I stink. He's never going to say that.
Hey,
never.
Skippy, do you even know how to fill out a bracket, or do we need to teach you the concept of filling out a bracket?
Let me ask you a question. Sean, you filled out your bracket already, right?
Yep, I did it this morning, Jeff.
Okay, how long did it take you to fill out your bracket?
Only a few minutes. It was very easy to do.
Okay, Josh, you filled out your bracket, right?
Yes, sir.
How long did it take you to fill out your bracket?
30 seconds.
Exactly. Hey, Skippy, if you take longer than 10 minutes to fill out your bracket, you're thinking too much.
Or does he even know how to access an account? I don't know how to fill out an account.
You're thinking
I can't
too much.
do it.
Okay.
Oh,
you know how long?
Here's
you know how
the
long?
kicker here.
You know how long it took me to fill out my bracket?
How long, bud?
About a minute.
There you
Nice.
go.
Oh boy, here we go. This could be an interesting one since it's two of Jeff's favorite basketball teams. He can't believe that my New York Knicks beat my San Antonio Spurs.
Oh. That's a double entendre. We put the word "my" in front of both teams. That's a double entendre. You can't have both. First of all, the Knicks ain't yours. Okay? They're mine, and I don't even say that. Okay? So I grew up in New York. You did not.
He grew up in Oklahoma City.
So-
He's down in Oklahoma.
You can't have them. Number two, I understand you've been calling my San Antonio Spurs forever. You know why the San Antonio Spurs lost to the Knicks? Ask Greg Popovich. He'll tell you why. Because they didn't respect them at all. That's why they lost.
Jeff, Shabbat goes, if Skip rides the Pelicans jock like that, we need to buy him some Preparation H for his pitch.
Oh, God.
That's good, Shaba. I like that.
That's a good one, Shabba.
Oh, Sean, I want you to get your thoughts on this one.
Oh, great. Here we go.
Skippy Bayless said that Tim Tebow got signed by the Philadelphia Eagles, Sean. He'll become the comeback player of the year.
That is a laugh, and that is a joke. Tim Tebow, everybody's saying, hey, Jeff, Tim Tebow's come back to the NFL. He's going to lead the Eagles to the Super Bowl.
I hope I pray that he says that. I really do. I pray that he says that. You know why? I'm on him because that ain't going to happen. He's been out of the league for 3 years. He takes one shot in the gut and say goodbye. He hasn't been hit in 3 stinking years. You think his body knows what that is anymore?
What was it, since 2011
Dumbass.
the last time he played? It was a playoff. Last time I think he was in the NFL. Yeah, 3 years, 2012.
Dumbass.
And then but before you go on, Josh, Skippy's going to have something not just for Charles Barkley, but then he's going to be having something for Tim Tebow. Why don't I go listen to his religion and talk about Jesus Christ?
Yeah, don't bring that in.
Charles
I hate when he
Barkley,
does.
Here we go, Jeff.
I hate when he brings that into football, man.
Oh.
Here we go. Skippy Bayless said that Charles Barkley should open WrestleMania, not LL Cool J.
Ooh.
Huh?
I don't know, Jeff. I'm a big music guy. I have respect for LL Cool J, but I'm not a big fan of his. But hell, I'll take that over that freaking overweight tub of goo. That fat bastard, Mr. Sandoval's father, Charles Barkley.
Charles Barkley.
That freaking hump.
I know. I'm with you. I'm with you on that, dude. I'm totally with you.
God, man, I feel sorry for you, Jeff. If you're a stockholder and Skip Bayless on the WWE,
Well, he doesn't. Thank God.
you need to get out of that as soon as you can.
Thank God. Well, yeah. If he became the owner, I'm selling my stock faster than you can take a crap. Because you know what's going to happen to that WWE if he's the owner? It's going to get flushed down the toilet just like a piece of crap. And I'm getting out faster than you can dump it.
So Skip Bayless would be like what AOL was to WCW.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. You know what? It'd be like, okay, I'm going to put in, because I read this article today. I don't know why I read it. I'm stupid. I was just looking for stuff to read it today, I guess. I read this article that Internet IE is dead. Internet Explorer is dead. They're killing it.
Mm-hmm.
They're not doing it no more, right? So It's kind of like that. It's kind of like that. if he were to buy WWE, it would turn into IE, Internet Explorer. It would be dead in months. I'm jumping ship. The second I hear that he bought it, I'm jumping ship.
Shabba goes, serious thought, going back to Tim Tebow. Why hasn't Tebow tried out for the Arena Football League by now, Jeff and Josh?
Hey, Sean.
I mean, sometimes you just have to stick to what you know.
Hey, Shabba, you want me to tell you why? You want me to tell you why? When was the last time you seen on any sports show, ESPN, your local news, anywhere, about an arena sports score? You know why? Because they're not playing no more because they dismantled last year. They're coming back this year. So he couldn't even do that. If he's such a good quarterback, why didn't he go play in the Canadian Football League? You know why? Because he's not. And if he goes to Philadelphia and he plays, people in Philadelphia are going to see the same freaking thing I saw many years ago, that he's not an NFL quarterback.
I say that Tim Tebow should play with Ocho Cinco up there in the CFL.
Yeah, go up there in the CFL.
Get some advice from Mark Trestman.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, that's a good one, Josh. Yeah, the CFL's got some openings there, Timmy Tebow.
Oh, here's another one before we head into commercial break. Skippy Bayless said that my Boston Red Sox need to give Pablo Sandoval a vacation.
Yeah, they need to. You know where they need to send him? To Fat Camp.
I got my Panda. I got my Pablo Sandoval T-shirt and jersey, and it's certainly great to be enjoying that and having him on the right team at the right time in the right year.
Hey, Sean, what size?
You better not show us a video of that.
Hey, Sean, what size is that jersey? Triple XL?
It's a large there, buddy. And if you want, I can send one to you.
I don't want no fat
down San Diego.
I don't want no fat bastard Pablo Sandoval jersey.
Top of the hour break. We got to go to commercial.
Fat bastard he is. You're listening to Jeff Escott, Sean Man, and Josh Lopez on
Sports World Radio.
We'll be right back.
Storms move fast, so we use the best technology. That includes Bosch Icon wiper blades.
They're beam blades with memory tension springs and an aerodynamic design,
which means they fit the curve of the windshield. Bosch Icon wiper blades wiped our windshield clean and outlasted any other blade we've used. In my opinion, the Bosch Icon wiper blades are the best blades out there. Bosch Icon wiper blades, how storm chasers clear the way.
Hi, I'm Montel Williams. Most of you know me as a talk show host, but I'm also an author, actor, single father of 4, a fitness writer, avid snowboarder, and I'm also a medical marijuana patient. Like many of the million people who are living with multiple sclerosis, I'm in pain every single day. And sometimes my nerves are so raw that if you brushed up against me in an elevator, I'd scream. I can't sleep at night from the pain, and sometimes the spasms in my legs are so intense they will wake me up throughout the night. I've tried the strongest prescription medications available, and I'm going to tell you, they do not work. In fact, they leave me in a stupor, and most of the time, it's impossible to even live your life. Now, I've tried medical marijuana, and I'm going to tell you something, it works. If you'd like more information about medical marijuana, you can contact the Marijuana Policy Project at mpp.org or call 1-877-JOIN-MPP.
Have you ever someone or have sudden you trouble had speaking, understanding?
Understanding trouble? Have you sudden have or speaking someone ever confusion?
Have you ever had sudden confusion, trouble speaking, or understanding someone?
It could be one of the 5 signs of stroke.
Sudden weakness or numbness of the face, arm, or leg.
Sudden trouble with vision in one or both eyes.
Suddenly having trouble walking or difficulty with balance.
Or a sudden intense headache that comes out of nowhere.
If you or someone you know has any of these symptoms, don't wait. Call 911 immediately. You could make a difference in someone's life, someone you love, maybe even your own.
It's late until, wait, don't too.
Don't wait until it's too late. Time lost is brain lost.
Find out more at powertoendstroke.org. Brought to you by the American Heart Association, American Stroke Association, and the Ad Council.
Hey everybody, this is Sky, and when I want to know what's going on in the wonderful world of sports, I tune to Sports World Radio.
Welcome back to Sports World Radio. Man, we were just beating the living crap out of Pablo Sandoval during the break. If you want to know what we were saying, guess what? You're going to have to get Sports World Radio's sports shorts coming soon to a theater near you.
Yep, get that discount code, rat bastard.
That's right. Pablo Sandoval, that fat bastard. You know something, Shaba? You said that he could play nose tackle. During the break, I wasn't too far off. I said another position, which I'm not going to say, because I want you people to listen to our commercial break stuff. I said another position, and then you said nose tackle. We were all laughing about that during the commercial break. We were having some good fun during the commercial break.
I'll just play Kung Fu Fighting, and you'll think of the panda right there.
Fat
Everybody's
bastard.
Kung Fu Fighting.
He's a fat bastard, dude. Okay? The first time he makes an error at third base, I'm all over you, Sean. I'm going to say, look, that fat bastard can't even bend over to pick up a ball. He's so fat.
What I'll end up doing is I'll just laugh it off, and I'll say, "Oh, blow it off. Tomorrow's another day. He'll fix it."
Yeah, of course you will. What is he going to lose, 10 pounds in one day? Get the hell out of here.
Freaking Pablo Sandoval's like Captain Encino.
He better start losing weight
because
now.
He didn't go to any of your teams.
I give a crap. I don't want that fat bastard on any of my teams.
That fat bastard would be out here in Chicago saying, "Oh, it's too cold. I need to stay inside and eat a deep dish Giordano pizza."
Fat bastard he is, man.
You got to remember, he has 3 World Series championships.
Who gives a frig, Newton?
For what?
He won,
standing there?
He caught the final out last year against the Royals in the World Series.
Well, it's Royals. It's not saying much.
Oh,
Sorry,
yeah.
Jeff.
I don't really care.
Let's get back to Skippy Bayless bash out before Ron Gallo comes back on. Jeff, Skippy Bayless said that he doesn't want The Undertaker at WrestleMania. What's your thoughts about that?
I'm kind of with him on that, to tell you the truth. Listen, The Undertaker streak went last year, and you know what? He should have went out with it.
It's not a bad idea. I think a whole Bray Wyatt telling him to find him, that type of stuff. I think we've seen the last of the dark Undertaker. I think we see that old school American
There's no
badass
way in
Undertaker
hell
before he walks out. I think last year was the perfect send-off with the whole hocus pocus Undertaker.
Do you think that they're going to have him come back and lose?
Nah. I doubt it.
I doubt it, too. I don't think he's going to come back and lose. Right?
Yeah, but even then, even if how the match is, I got to give it up to Bray Wyatt. I know you're not a big fan of his, but for a way for him to carry that feud by himself it's impressive. Anyway, let's move on to the next one. Skippy Bayless said he's not impressed with the upcoming Atlanta Hawks Golden State Warriors game because it doesn't involve LeBron James.
Tough.
We need different NBA finals than having to deal with LeBron James, Skippy.
See, that's the problem. He's too hung up on LeBron James, and he thinks if LeBron James isn't in the finals is going to stink. Okay? That's a stupid opinion to have as a sports broadcaster because you're alienating everybody else.
He probably would say, "Hey, Josh, Jeff, and Sean, this is LeBron's era. We're not in the 80s or the 90s,
Doesn't matter. I'm tired of watching LeBron play in it, and so are a lot of other people.
I second that, and Josh, you would third that.
So are a lot of other people, and I think it would be more interesting to have two teams that haven't been there in a while than to have somebody like LeBron James in it again.
I am the biggest LeBron James hater. If the Cleveland Cavaliers win the NBA Finals, I'm no longer watching the NBA for the foreseeable future.
Oh, for crying out loud, Josh. It is the NBA. You got to stick with your team there,
it's not.
buddy.
It's the freaking politic game. That crap.
He is kind of right.
All the games are freaking filled with politics. It doesn't matter what sport it is.
He is kind of right.
Or is it fixed? Yeah, it's a fixed game, and it's all about, hey, let's have LeBron win a bunch of championships.
And put me into misery. Yeah, great. Anyway, Skip Bayless said that Stephen A. Smith should be fined for his unbiased point of view.
Whoa!
What?
Skippy Bayless said that about Stephen A. Smith. What the heck? He gets away all the time with all this nonsense.
You know what that is? That's the kettle calling it black. You know what I'm saying about that one, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying right there, right?
What would happen if he came up and he said, Mr. Eskow, you're the manager and president of ESPN. We need to find Stephen A. Smith. I'm Skippy Bayless with that perspective.
I think you need to get fired. Personally, half of the
that would be the quick reply there.
Personally, 90% of the stuff you say is wrong anyway.
Would that be your first action you would do if you were in charge of ESPN?
He'd be done. He'd be out of there so quick. He'd be out of there so fast. After I signed my contract, the ink wouldn't even be dry. I'd be firing him.
Well, you should make that part of your contract that he signed, that he's immediately fired once the I's and T's are.
Yeah, I will take over as the president of ESPN. I want in my contract, as long as I'm president of ESPN, Skip Bayless will not have a job there.
And then Skippy will throw a temper tantrum. That's not fair. I got fired. I had great experience with ESPN.
I don't care. The new president doesn't like you. You're out the door, bitch.
Hit the road, Jack.
Good luck with your notes that you didn't even write.
Exactly.
It's like Ray Charles. Hit the road, Jack.
Yeah, good luck with your notes that you don't even write yourself. You know?
Ooh, Sean. Oh, man. I feel sorry for you, buddy. Skippy Bayless said the Boston Bruins are the biggest disappointment in all professional sports this year.
Disappointment. Disappointment what, Skippy? You see, you don't know a thing about the Boston Bruins. You don't know a thing about hockey. So, you know something, Skippy? Zip your lips.
He needs to stay away from the pole, man. I'm telling you.
That's true.
I bet you he lives in AT&T Stadium. He takes a couple of rounds around the pole, and then he goes to bed. Something like that.
What do you think about that, Jeff? He could take a couple rounds around the pole, and he's off to bed.
Well, he does that every night.
Yeah, he does a Skype call with Jerry Jones, too.
Yeah. They pole dance together on Skype.
What would happen if Skippy found all of us on Skype and he says, add me as a contact. My name's Skippy Bayless. Let's meet as friends. Let's be friends on Skype.
No.
I would tell him to get off Jerry Jones, you know what, and get some poutine pie action.
No, I can't.
And Charles Barkley, Josh.
No, I can't. I'm sorry. I can't.
Go work out with Pablo Sandoval.
I can't.
And get off my TV screen.
Hey, if you guys haven't joined our NCAA tournament yet, here's the link. Go ahead and join. The tournament starts tomorrow, don't it?
Yep.
So you only got a little bit of time. And if you're listening to this on the podcast, you can go to Sports World Radio's chat room page for each show and just click on the link there. The chats are always there. You can just go back and click on the link. How about that? Is that pretty cool?
Yep, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
We got a couple more quotes before I head off here.
Okay,
you
bring
guys talk to Ron. Skippy Bayless said that Kentucky should just be crowned the national champions. Get it over with. Why we need a 3-4 week period of meaningless NCAA men's basketball action.
Ooh.
It don't bother me too much.
No?
Skippy,
no.
It's like Skippy Price says, heck with college basketball. Let's just go directly to the NBA and focus on that.
You know what? I'm starting to tune him out a little bit. I'm learning how to tune that disgusting voice out, man.
That's what Skippy would think and feel, since he's saying, let's just say, forget about college basketball.
Well, Skippy Bayless is also saying that Tom Coughlin should go to the Dallas Cowboys.
Maybe after he wins the Super Bowl this year.
The Super Bowl?
Yeah. Maybe after Tom Coughlin wins the Super Bowl this year. He'll take on that debacle of a team and see if he can win there.
Skippy Bayless said the biggest move of the offseason so far is Vince Wilfork leaving the New England Patriots. And he says despite Vince Wilfork leaving, he said the New England Patriots will unanimously win the Super Bowl next year.
No, they won't. They got some problems to fix first.
Skippy,
They need hope just making it to the playoffs.
Skippy, I said it before to Kathy, and I'll even say it to you. The Patriots, I'm a Patriot fan. I even have to speak and be honest about it. They have to fix their defense. You know what sports is, and do you know what the Patriots are? Do you even follow the transactions? Numbnuts.
Numbnuts?
Well, gosh, I mean, he thinks New England will win the Super Bowl, Jeff, and I've already seen the loss of Revis and Vince Wilfork, and there's still plenty of time for them to make some off-season moves, but you can't just say, oh, they'll be fine, they'll win the Super Bowl.
He needs to get his head out of his butt before he comes up with these quotes.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, Browning, last one before we go to break. This one's going to get you mad. Skippy Bayless said that my Philadelphia Eagles will miss the playoffs despite the fact they added DeMarco Murray.
Ooh. The Eagles missed the playoffs? Oh, I know that would not make Browning at Double-A happy. What do you say about that?
I bet you freaking Stephen A. Smith didn't like that.
Hey, Browning, how about that? He said, my Eagles.
Is that what he said, my Eagles?
Yep.
Yes.
They're not his Eagles. They're freaking Stephen A. Smith's Eagles.
He said that DeMarco Murray, Tim Tebow is the quarterback running back duo for Philadelphia next year.
No, it's not.
Here's what I picture before we go to commercial break. When Jeff goes up against Skippy Bayless, Jeff, one of the things you'll say, hey, Skippy, why don't you just pick one team and stop going with every single solitary team that you think is yours?
Well, eventually every team is his.
Yeah, eventually.
Eventually,
he's going on a world tour.
Eventually, every team is his, so screw him.
I wanted to wish you a lot of fun, Jeff, with your convention coming up on tomorrow and Friday. Hope you have a blast. I had a blast being on air with you guys. And
hey, you know something? On Saturday, I believe it's Saturday night. Yeah, Saturday night they got a huge freaking party going on, right at the convention where I'm going.
Yep.
And they have, who's playing who's playing there?
Who?
They got Flavor Flav, Tone Loc, Flavor Flav and Tone Loc playing. How crazy is that? Funky Cole Medina? You ever hear the song Funky Cole Medina?
Yep.
Yeah, that's by Tone Loc. Yeah, I met him in Vegas one day. Him and I were playing at a blackjack table for like hours together.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so and it's, hey, dude, it's open bar and free food.
Yep.
Yeah, we're gonna have a lot of fun.
Run to commercial break.
Yeah, so thanks for filling in for Mr. Sean there, Joshy. We appreciate it. Thank you very much for doing your duties, man.
Talk to you guys later.
You got it. Josh is gonna be on next Friday with us again because WrestleMania is on the following Sunday, so we're going to talk a whole hour of WrestleMania and wrestling, and he's going to get into a whole bunch of Skippy quotes that Skippy said about wrestling, so it's going to be a lot of fun. Let's run to our quarter of the hour break, and we'll be right back. You're listening to Jeff Escow and Showman on
Sports World Radio.
This message brought to you by FEMA. Stay fire safe this winter. Turn portable heaters off when you go to bed or leave the room. Keep anything that can burn at least 3 feet away. Plug portable heaters directly into wall outlets. Inspect and replace damaged cords, broken outlets, or loose connections. Use portable heaters with an automatic shutoff so that if they tip over, they turn off. Only use portable heaters approved by a recognized testing laboratory. Learn more at www.usfa.fema.gov.
Did you know that just 30 minutes a day of physical activity can improve your health and decrease your risk of heart disease? For every hour of regular, vigorous exercise, you gain 2 hours of life expectancy. So start walking for yourself and for your heart. Start walking with your family. You'll feel better. Start walking in your community. You'll lead happier and healthier lives. Start walking. Start something. Join the movement today. For more information on the American Heart Association START program, visit startwalkingnow.org and start walking. Start something.
This message brought to you by FEMA. Be fire safe during the holidays. Only use decorations that are non-flammable or flame retardant. Check holiday lights each year for frayed wires or excessive wear, and do not link more than 3 strands. Never leave a burning candle unattended. Consider using battery-operated flameless candles which look and smell like real candles. If your celebration includes a natural tree, keep it away from any heat source or exit. Water your tree daily to keep it from becoming dry. Learn more at usfa.fema.gov.
Hey everybody, this is Sky, and when I want to know what's going on in the wonderful world of sports, I tune to Sports World Radio.
Welcome back to Sports World Radio. Jeff Escow, Sean Mann, bringing you the fastest 2 hours of sports talk each and every Monday through Friday, right here on SportsWorldRadio.com. 6 o'clock on the East, 3 o'clock on the West, and if you live in the Central,
figure it out for yourself.
Oh, short and sweet. All right, since we're waiting for Ron to get his butt over here, Sean and I are treating this like a Friday show. So on Fridays, we normally do our NBA elimination game. We haven't done it in quite a few weeks. We're getting back to it. We're picking 2 teams each this week to eliminate. There are not many teams left in our elimination game to pick. Sean, who's your first team?
Eastern Conference. I can't believe I did this, but I'm going to take them out. I'm taking out the Chicago Bulls.
Wow. That's their first mark. That's their first mark. Chicago Bulls, huh?
Yep.
Okay. I'm knocking out the LA Clippers. Okay, I'm taking out the LA Clippers, which means that knocks out the LA Clippers. They're out.
Jeff is getting rid of the Los Angeles Clippers.
Right, which means the Los Angeles Clippers have been totally eliminated from the game.
I took them out right from the very beginning.
Yes, so now they're totally out. All right, so who's your second team you're getting who you're eliminating today?
The number 2 team I'm taking out, the New Orleans Pelicans.
Hey, why are you doing that?
I will say it because I see the Pelicans getting into the playoffs, but not very far.
Okay, well, you know what? I knocked them out a long time ago. They've been officially taken out off the board. They're officially knocked out of the elimination game. Now, I can only take 1, 2, 3. I only have 3 teams to choose from. 1, 2, 3, 4 teams to choose from, really. Okay, you know what? I'm sorry to do this. I can't believe I'm doing this. I'm knocking out the Atlanta Hawks.
Whoa! Jeff takes out the Atlanta Hawks. Check that out.
Yeah.
Woo!
I'm knocking out the Atlanta Hawks, which means they have been officially eliminated from the NBA elimination game. So we knocked out 3 teams today, dude.
That's good.
The Clippers, the Pelicans, and the Hawks have been knocked out. The only teams left, the Bulls, the Wizards, Golden State, San Antonio, and Portland. The only teams left. And there's only one team that still does not have a mark. You know who that is, Sean?
Who?
The Golden State Warriors. They still have no marks. Sean has eliminated the Bulls. I have eliminated the Wizards. Sean has eliminated the Spurs. And I have eliminated the Trailblazers. Neither of us have eliminated the Warriors. Those are the only teams that are left. It's coming down to the nitty-gritty. It's going to be fun next week. We're going to do 2 more teams next week apiece. It's going to be fun.
Josh is shaking his head that I took the Bulls out, and he says, wouldn't bet with you guys for money. These are horrible picks.
Hey, man, it's coming down to the nitty-gritty. What do you want? What do you want from my life? I'm having a problem. I picked my team. The beginning of the season, I picked my team, and I'm sticking with it. But I have a problem because there's another team I really want to pick. Okay? So it's a little difficult, man. I don't know what the hell's going on. I think Ron Gallo is available now. What do you say we try and bring the Rat Bastard in?
All righty. Sounds like a plan.
See what happens. So that's our NBA elimination game. Now we're moving into some hockey talk with Mr. Ron Gallo. What's up, buddy?
Hey, guys. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Not too bad. I literally ran back from work, and sorry, I'm a few minutes late.
Yeah, don't worry about it, man. We rolled here with the punches. You know that. We had other things we did, so don't worry about it.
It's funny you say roll with the punches because the NHL is doing exactly that.
Rolling with the punches, aren't they?
I'm getting right into it, Jeff. This one here is a little bizarre. Nazem Kadri of the Toronto Maple Leafs. We talked about him last week, having to sit out an extra 2 games. Well, he's back making headlines in the NHL from an incident earlier this week when he caught an Edmonton Oiler forward with a shoulder to the chin and gave his opponent a concussion. The NHL is not living up to their promise of dealing with the blows to the head with severity. Nazem Kadri is basically getting nothing for his infraction.
Wow, really?
Yeah, it's just the news is just kind of coming out. Everybody expected a 2-game suspension, and it's not going to happen.
That's not right.
No, not right at all.
That's not right at all, man.
No, it isn't.
What's fair is fair, and it's got to be the way it is. Everybody suspected 2 to 4 games for the hit, and the news is like literally just as I was answering your phone call, the news is just coming over the wires now that it looks like he's not going to get any suspension whatsoever.
Wow. What the hell is Bettman doing?
I don't know. Gary Bettman gets to keep himself at an arm's distance from this, by the way. I mean, he does have a discipline committee, and the discipline committee looks at that. Gary Bettman right now is in Florida, by the way. He's with the GMs for their annual spring general managers meeting.
Okay.
You know what? A couple of beers, some palm trees, some good-looking women. Why not make some good rules about the NHL, right?
That's how they get their rules done.
Exactly. Couple of things that might be coming. We've talked about this on the show before, Jeff. Coach's Challenge has been getting traction, actually, and as of yesterday, they actually have some wording that they're going to present to the Board of Governors, which, of course, is the GMs for a vote. But they have a language now, and it's expected to go through that there will be a coach's challenge. And this is the way the wording is right now. And there's still a couple of areas that are a little bit gray for me. Number one, if you use a coach's timeout or a coach's challenge, you're using your timeout. So if you use your timeout in the first period and then need a coach's challenge in the third period, sorry, you don't get one.
They only get one timeout a game?
They only get one timeout a game, and if you've already burned your timeout, you can't use it for the coach's challenge, no matter what the infraction or no matter what you think of it as a coach, you cannot get it. And now, like football, if you win the challenge, you don't burn your timeout. But if you lose the challenge, you will burn your timeout.
See, I don't. But first of all, I don't like the fact that they only get one timeout a game.
No, and that was my first question last night when the rule was just being presented. I'm like, okay, does that mean that every team gets 2 timeouts now? And no, that's not the case. Which, if you're going to bring in the coach's challenge, you should. I think you're agreeing with me, Jeff. You should bring in at least one more timeout with that so that every team has a potential for 2 timeouts in a game.
Correct.
Now, there are television timeouts. So you don't need to burn a timeout like you did back in the 70s or the 80s. Like if you get down by 3 goals and you look up at the clock and you see that there's 13 minutes remaining in the period, you know you're going to get your television timeout probably in the next stoppage in play.
Right.
So you might grit your teeth and hope for the best in the next minute and a half before the TV timeout hits, so that you can call the troops over and rally the troops instead of burning that timeout, because you only have one. But honestly, if you're going to introduce the coach's challenge and you're going to tell everybody that it's okay to have the coach's challenge and to challenge an official's call on the ice, I think that should come part and parcel with an additional timeout in the game as well.
I think so too.
Now, the other thing with the coach's challenge, unlike football, there's not going to be an actual flag that you throw on the ice. You are going to be allowed to call over the official, and I see a great deal of problems with that. In the junior hockey that I watch very, very closely, like basically I'm in the playing area. I'm inside the glass. When I'm doing my job, I'm kind of inside the glass. I'm right on top of the action. So I can hear a lot that's going on between the benches and from the benches to the ice. And what happens throughout the game is you get coaches yelling at the officials, questioning the calls of whether it's an offside, whether it's an icing, why wasn't that a penalty, and all of that kind of back and forth communication. And the referees tune it out to the large extent. So my question for you is, if you're not going to have an actual flag to throw on the ice or something, then who's to say that the official is actually going to hear the referee asking for his coach's challenge? Because the officials do have a tendency of tuning out the coaching staff.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, Ron, we got to run to our final update.
It's 4:30 already. Look at that.
Yeah, it's 4:30 already. Let's do our final update. And on the other side of this update, we'll take a commercial break, and then we'll have some more hockey talk with Ron Gallo. This update is brought to you by the Flipper. Head on over to flipperflipper.com and get your Flipper today. Never, ever touch your toilet seat ever again. It's called the Flipper. It attaches to the underside of your toilet seat so you can lift it up and lower it so you never have to touch your toilet seat ever, ever again. It's the Flipper, and it's at flipperflipper.com. Get yours today at flipperflipper.com. Take it away, Sean Mann, with the last and final update of the day.
All right, Jeff, thank you very much. And to you too, Ron Gallo. We move to Major League Baseball. Here are the afternoon finals and scores from today. The Red Sox over the Twins 3-2. The Twins lost again, the day-night doubleheader. Actually, their day doubleheader. They lost to the Orioles 3-2. The Marlins 5, Nationals 4, Rays 9, Blue Jays 3. Other games we got going on right now in the Spring Training Grapefruit League. The Yankees lead the Braves 3-0. And lastly, the Pirates lead the Tigers 2-1. In the Cactus League, here are the finals today. The Brewers take care of business against the Royals 8-4. The Mariners shut out the Athletics 4-0. Reds host the White Sox, and the White Sox prevailed 9-4. Cubs 7, Dodgers 5. And lastly, the Padres over the Rockies 10-3. And another game starting later tonight, it'll be the Diamondbacks taking on the Rockies, as spring training for Major League Baseball is starting to wind down, and then the real fun begins with the baseball season. In the NBA, here are the games that we have for tonight. We got 11 of them. The Nets and the Cavaliers. Right now, the Nets lead the Cavaliers 22-16. First quarter, 2 minutes and 30 seconds in that quarter. 1 minute left in the first quarter. The 76ers lead the Pistons 20-19. Other games we have: the Trailblazers at the Heat, Timberwolves at the Raptors, Pacers at the Bulls, Spurs at the Bucks, Celtics taking on a big game against the Thunder. On ESPN tonight, it'll be the Mavericks hosting the Orlando Magic. Clippers at the Kings. And lastly on ESPN, for the ESPN day-night doubleheader, it'll be the Hawks taking on the Warriors. And the other game, Wizards at the Jazz. In the NHL, games for tonight, there are 3 of them. The Blackhawks taking on the Rangers. That game is at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 5 p.m. Pacific on the NBC Sports Network. Blue Jackets at the Oilers. And lastly, it'll be the Kings taking on the Ducks. That game is on NBC Sports Network following Blackhawks Rangers. Update is brought to you by the Flipper at flipperflipper.com. When we come back from the commercial break, more hockey talk with Ron Gallo.
Welcome to the Man Manual. Man comes with a multifunctional casing known as skin. It is remarkable. Warning, standard body wash can cause damage to man's skin. Maintain it properly with Dove Men Plus Care Body Wash. It cleans man and protects skin from dryness. This will keep man's skin remarkable, even under extreme testing. Dove Men Plus Care Body Wash. Skin care built in. Also, freshen man's exterior with new Aqua Impact Body Wash.
Why does consultant Jerry Howell stay at La Quinta?
Can you come back tomorrow?
Because only with La Quinta can Jerry instant hold the room tonight using just his phone number. And then power down for tomorrow on his pillow top bed. And when Jerry's refreshed, you know what he does?
We need ideas, people. Think. Synergistic integration. Genius.
He thinks outside the box.
I'm going for it. No.
La Quinta Inns and Suites take care of you so you can take care of business. Instant hold your next stay on your smartphone at LQ.com.
La Quinta.
Hi, I'm Montel Williams. Most of you know me as a talk show host, but I'm also an author, actor, single father of 4, a fitness writer, avid snowboarder, and I'm also a medical marijuana patient. Like many of the million people who are living with multiple sclerosis, I'm in pain every single day. And sometimes my nerves are so raw that if you brushed up against me in an elevator, I'd scream. I can't sleep at night from the pain, and sometimes the spasms in my legs are so intense they will wake me up throughout the night. I've tried the strongest prescription medications available, and I'm going to tell you, they do not work. In fact, they leave me in a stupor, and most of the time, it's impossible to even live your life. Now, I've tried medical marijuana, and I'm going to tell you something, it works. If you'd like more information about medical marijuana, you can contact the Marijuana Policy Project at mpp.org or call 1-877-JOIN-MPP.
Hey everybody, this is Sky, and when I want to know what's going on in the wonderful world of sports, I tune to Sports World Radio.
All right, welcome back to Sports World Radio. Jeff Eskow, Sean Mann, and Ron Gallo, like he is each and every Wednesday here on Sports World Radio, bringing you the fastest 2 hours of sports talk each and every Monday through Friday. All right, Ron, where do you want to go next?
Going to go over a couple of little things, but first of all, Sean, I need to make sure, did you come up with our list, our beginning of the season list of who we picked for the different divisions in the Stanley Cup playoff run?
Yeah, I did. I have the entire list that we had, which was around middle or late September of last year.
Okay, well, let's hold on to that for a little bit. Maybe we'll go to that in after the next commercial break. But leading up to the commercial break, I want to kind of go over some more of these rule changes that are expected to come into play. I've already talked about the Coaches Challenge. I'm a proponent for the Coaches Challenge, just to clarify. But I'm a little disappointed, as we mentioned already, that there isn't going to be an introduction of a second timeout to allow for a legitimate Coaches Challenge. But that stated, let's start with the Coaches Challenge and see where it goes. All right, so here's a couple more for you. Sean, you're a big fan of the shootout, correct?
The shootout isn't bad. I guess it's all right that they can play a couple rounds with that. I just figure that's probably the way that people can that the teams can gain points. It's okay.
Yesterday, they introduced an idea that will minimize the amount of shootouts that we're seeing now, okay? First of all, regulation time is 60 minutes to hopefully decide a winner in 60 minutes. We already know that doesn't happen a lot of times. We'll get a tie, and it has to be decided in overtime. And the current overtime format just doesn't seem to work very well for the 5 minutes 4-on-4, and sometimes we end up with a shootout. What they're going to do is they're looking at two possibilities, and one of them I'm very familiar with because the junior hockey league that I follow uses it, and it's a 5-minute 4-on-4 overtime period followed by a second 5-minute overtime period that's played 3-on-3. In the American Hockey League, which is the feeder league for the NHL, they do a different system. They put an overtime period up that's 7 minutes in duration, and they start 4-on-4. And they'll play 4-on-4 for the first 4 minutes until the next whistle when there's less than 3 minutes remaining in the 7-minute overtime period. And then they'll take a player off and they'll play the remaining time 3-on-3. Hopefully to generate some offense and create a scoring chance and settle the game inside the 7-minute overtime period. What's interesting is that a lot of people say that that's the system that's going to come into the NHL, but it needs to go back to the Players Association, because the players themselves, you got to think of all of their scouts and all of their agents and everybody else that's, got a very distinct interest in players, Sean, want to know, is it good or is it bad for the players to play that extra few minutes and be susceptible to that much more ice time and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So here's the pros. Number one, if you score a goal in overtime, it actually adds to your total. So if you score a goal in overtime, you'll get the stat for a game-winning goal. You'll get a stat for a goal scored, and obviously you'll get a stat for having a point on the ice during a game play. That's not the case in a shootout. You look at all of these players that are scoring goals in the shootouts, they don't count to their tallies. If you look at somebody who's finishing the season with 51 goals scored, those don't count or include the shootout goals. So there's the positive. The positive is that if you're scoring goals in overtime, they're going to add to your totals. And if you get so many goals in a season, you're eligible for bonuses. You're eligible, obviously, to generate more money in your contract negotiations. So certainly that's a huge advantage for the players to have the extra time to try and prove their worth and why they should be earning the big dollars, because they can score the goals when they matter the most. The argument, and it's silly, but the argument is that now all of a sudden the players are putting in more, I'm using my fingers in the air for the quote-unquote sign, but more working hours, if you can call that, because you're adding 2 extra minutes to overtime potentially before it gets to a playoff. I don't think any player that laces up the skates, Sean, gives two hoots about a couple of extra minutes in overtime.
I don't know. I don't think so either. I really like the overtime playoffs because they can play as many overtimes as they want because, yes, they're very, very stressful. I mentioned that in the chat room. They're very much intense, and when that happens, I know from watching a lot of Boston Bruin games, when they have played in overtime, it's like so hard to sit because they're so stressful because you don't know what's going to happen. You're either going to be happy when you win or happy when you lose, but I guess the shootouts are okay. Shabba made a good point in the chat room. He said something like, the shootouts are exciting, but I do like the sound of 3-on-3.
And honestly, it's going to go that way. The only question is are we looking at a 7-minute overtime period, or are we looking at 2 5-minute overtime periods? And if it's 2 5-minute overtime periods, remember, it's sudden victory. It's not going to be played, I believe basketball and I know baseball, both teams get an opportunity at bat in the extra innings. And I believe in NFL, both offensive teams get an opportunity unless it's a defensive touchdown or a defensive point scored. Is that correct?
I think so. I'd have to look that up and do some research on that.
Okay, so in hockey, it's the first one to score, period. There is no opportunity to get that point back. It doesn't matter. If the goal is a legitimate goal and it goes in, game is over. So they're going to play, on the one hand, they're going to look at 5 minutes 4-on-4, followed by 5 minutes 3-on-3. If something is still not settled, if their goal has not been scored after those 10 minutes of overtime play, then we're back to the shootout. The other format is 7 minutes. It's a nicer flow when you look at the 7 minutes because all it's going to do is on the first whistle after that 4-minute mark, they're just going to take one player off of each team and you're going to play 3-on-3 for the remaining amount of time. So you don't have to have a full stoppage in play. You just have a natural stoppage in play, and then you drop the puck where you would drop the puck, whether it be at the face-off circle in an offensive zone or a face-off circle in the neutral zone.
Sounds like they're just making so many changes with the rules, though, with hockey. It just seems like Bettman's making so many changes from what you're saying.
I think that they need to tweak the overtime, though, again, so I'm okay with that, and I'm a fan of the 7-minute format. But I was just segueing into the next rule change that's being proposed, not introduced. It's only being proposed. And this one here is, to me, is a little nonsensical. And what it is, it's demanding that the defensive player in a face-off put his stick down in the face-off circle first, and then the opposing player gets to go second. And the thought there is that the offensive player will have the advantage because he'll have first crack at knocking the puck out of the air with his stick and creating an offensive opportunity. You know what? I don't disagree that face-offs are an art form. And when you've got a player that can win face-offs, you have somebody who's probably even better than a goal scorer, because you need to be able to control the puck to create chances, and you need to have chances in order to score goals. So it all starts from puck possession off the face-off. So the face-off is a very key component in the game of hockey. And it'll be interesting to see if that rule, number one, comes in, but number two, how easily or how difficult, rather, it's going to be to enforce, because I see this one causing all kinds of problems for the officials.
Absolutely. What do you think, Jeff?
I agree. I don't know why they're starting to change all that crap.
Again, like I said, it's one of those little nuances of the game. Everybody knows how important it is to win a face-off, and everybody wants to look for the advantage, and everybody wants to look for a scoring opportunity. And to me, it just sounds like it's a little detail that I think we have to be careful. It's like dynamite. You're going to introduce something that's designed to be a good thing, but it's just going to be problematic to enforce.
Okay. Yeah, I know. I'm not a hockey guy, but I don't know why they're starting to change all that crap around. Just leave it the way it is. Stop screwing with the crap, man.
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah, I get a little tired of them trying to screw with things.
Okay, so we got a commercial break. When we come back, we want to revisit the early season predictions that were made right here on this radio show.
Look at you. Look at you producing this show. All right, we'll be right back. Jeff Escal, showman Ron Gallo, right after this.
Sports World Radio.
I had PTSD. Once I was back from Iraq, I was distant from everybody in my family.
We had a reunion of our unit, and you'd hear these spouses say, "Is your husband doing that? My husband's doing that too. I thought it was just us." And really understanding that, hey, this is a common experience.
I learned more to listen to what he was saying, and that made it easier for me to understand where his pain was coming from.
Warriors should know that resources are available. Learn more at realwarriors.net.
Every parent wants the safest and healthiest products for their family. That's why I created The Honest Company. I was just a concerned mom with a crazy dream. A wish that there was a company that I could rely on that did all of the hard work for me. I'm Jessica Alba, and The Honest Company was my dream.
LegalZoom has helped 1 million businesses successfully get started, including Jessica's. Launch your dream at LegalZoom today. Call us. We're here to help.
Confusion ever someone or have sudden you trouble had speaking, understanding?
Understanding trouble? Have you sudden have or speaking someone ever confusion?
Have you ever had sudden confusion, trouble speaking, or understanding someone?
It could be one of the 5 signs of stroke.
Sudden weakness or numbness of the face, arm, or leg.
Sudden trouble with vision in one or both eyes.
Suddenly having trouble walking or difficulty with balance.
Or a sudden intense headache that comes out of nowhere.
If you or someone you know has any of these symptoms, don't wait. Call 911 immediately. You could make a difference in someone's life, someone you love, maybe even your own.
It's late until, wait, don't too.
Don't wait until it's too late. Time lost is brain lost.
Find out more at powertoendstroke.org. Brought to you by the American Heart Association, American Stroke Association, and the Ad Council.
Hey everybody, this is Sky, and when I want to know what's going on in the wonderful world of sports, I tune to Sports World Radio.
Welcome back to Sports World Radio, the final segment of the final show of the week. Hope everybody's enjoying their 2-hour journey. I know I have. We got Ron Gallo with us. We're talking hockey this whole second half of the show here on Sports World Radio. What else you got for us, Ron? Any more stupid-ass rule changes they're thinking of?
Well, I mean, the day is still not over in Florida. I mean, they're out enjoying the sun, and it's getting close to sunset. But
well, it's got to be close to 8 o'clock over there, right?
What's that?
It's close to 8 o'clock over there, isn't it?
Yeah, it's close to 8 o'clock, so close to sunset.
They're going on their dinner break then.
Yeah, and there doesn't seem to be too much more, but that was the big one. Things that were big in the NHL here in the last little while. There is a viral video going around from Saturday night when Carey Price was playing in goal for the Montreal Canadiens against the New York Rangers.
Mm-hmm.
The story that we were first introduced during a television timeout, Carey Price is in the corner up against the glass, and he spots a young lad with his phone trying to take a selfie of the players behind him through the glass, and Carey Price bends down to get into the shot. And the shot went viral. The video was captured by the camera crews that were doing the game. So that video became viral. But it's taken one step farther, and the boy is just over the moon and just finished writing a letter. He's French. He had actually traveled down to New York with his dad and wanted to be there for the game, and saw the opportunity to have a picture with Carey Price, hopefully nearby. Didn't realize that Carey was going to lean into the selfie shot, and has just been tickled pink. And he's wrote a nice big letter about, his hero being Carey Price, and how being a hero is more than just what you do on the ice. It's the kindness that you show off the ice. And this is just one of those feel-good stories for NHL and for the Montreal Canadiens and for Carey Price. And I've told you that I've shooken Carey Price's hand. I've watched him ride in the rodeo nearby here in Prince George, because he's from BC. He's about 5 hours kind of southwest of where I live, but he comes through Prince George every summer a couple of times. But it's one of those feel-good stories, if you will.
Cool. That's really cool. Hey, you know what? I'd be remiss if I didn't mention it, because we're not going to be here tomorrow or Friday. And you're actually here, and Laura's actually here because she's a hockey fan. Hey, Laura, happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Laura.
Happy birthday, Laura.
There you go. You got it from all three of us. Okay. Now we can get back to some hockey talk. All right.
All right, so let's take a look at some standings here. But before we do that, it depends on how many games have been played, but you're looking at anywhere from, typically it's 11, 12. There's a couple of teams that have 14 games still to go here before the end of the season. Interesting. This is really actually bizarre when you look at it. I don't think I've ever seen this at this late in the season, with just over a couple of handfuls of games to go. But the number one team in all four divisions have identical points. They all have 95 points.
Really?
Yes. The New York Rangers have played the fewest games, so technically they are first in the NHL with 95 points. They are followed by the St. Louis Blues, then the Montreal Canadiens, and the Anaheim Ducks. All of them 95 points on the season so far.
Wow. That's crazy.
It's one of those interesting things. But of course, then you start looking into the wild card races, and more teams have been knocked off. The Toronto Maple Leafs are officially eliminated from playoff contention. They can't get in anymore where they sit. You look out west, and still the Arizona Coyotes and the Edmonton Oilers, they're out, and they're fighting for the last spot overall in the NHL, with the Buffalo Sabres currently holding that with 47 points, and then Arizona and Edmonton with 50 points each. Again, there's some very interesting races when you look at them. Montreal, as I mentioned, New York, and St. Louis and Anaheim pretty well all but locked up their place and their postseason experience about to unfold in front of them. Teams that are sitting in the wild card right now include the Washington Capitals and the Boston Bruins. The Boston Bruins have a 4-point lead on the Ottawa Senators. The Ottawa Senators are about the only team that can put Boston in any degree of sweat, if you will. So it'd be interesting to see Ottawa and Boston if they actually have any games against each other. The Montreal Canadiens and the New York Rangers do not have any more games against each other. They played their final one against each other on a Saturday night. The Boston Bruins, since I brought it up, they will be playing the Ottawa Senators tomorrow night. So this is a huge game. And then they're not done there. On Tuesday, they will be playing. Where are we at here? Let me just double check. I'm going to have to correct myself there unless there's a typo, and those are supposed to say April. But it looks like they are playing 2 more games head-to-head before the end of the season. And those will happen. Tomorrow will be the first one. That's huge. Boston has some tough games coming up. They have to play the Tampa Bay Lightning. They have to play the Anaheim Ducks. They have to play the New York Rangers, all in close proximity to one another. So those are going to be pretty tough.
I agree with that, Ron, because it's been a year where the Bruins have had to deal with injuries. They've had a few rough months. December wasn't an easy month for them. February wasn't. March, they've been playing better, but huge game. They have to beat Ottawa tomorrow, and then they have some other big games. I just hope they can get in and just get that last playoff spot secured, because I don't know if they'll be able to catch the Washington Capitals.
Well, and the thing is the Boston Bruins don't play the Washington Capitals until Wednesday, April the 8th. So that one, like I said, it's not easy for the Boston Bruins when you look at their schedules. Already mentioned the Ottawa Senators, already mentioned Tampa Bay, Anaheim, New York. Then you go down the list, you do get a bit of a break because you've got Carolina, Florida, Detroit, Toronto. Then you've got Washington, then you have Florida, then you have Tampa Bay. So the one that I actually worry about for Boston winning, and it could come down to that last game of the regular season, is Saturday, April the 11th. The reason why is because they'll have come off of a game which should be an easy win over the Florida Panthers, and then they've got to play the Tampa Bay Lightning, who the Tampa Bay Lightning obviously challenging for a top spot and may actually be looking for a President's Trophy at that time of the year. So that one will be interesting for sure, Jeff.
Should be fun, huh?
Yeah, now out west, again, this is an anomaly because when you look at the Central Division, you have 3 teams with more than 90 points, and then your next 2 teams are both in the wild card spot, and the Minnesota Wild have more points than the Vancouver Canucks and the Los Angeles Kings, and the Winnipeg Jets have more points than the Los Angeles Kings. So if Calgary, who is right now, and remember last week we were talking about Calgary being on the inside looking out, and they had to watch out for Los Angeles. Well, guess who's in and guess who's out? Los Angeles Kings are back in the Pacific Division race for one of those guaranteed 3 playoff spots, right, and the Calgary Flames are out.
Wow.
So Los Angeles Kings are doing what they did a couple of years ago, and they're coming in the back door at the very end of the regular season. So it'll be interesting to see what Los Angeles has in store for themselves. And when you look at their season coming down the pipe and who they have to play against, the Los Angeles Kings, they got to watch out for, teams like Anaheim, who they're playing tonight. They got to watch out for teams like Vancouver, who they're playing on Saturday night. And then they've got the New York Rangers and the New York Islanders and the Minnesota Wild and the Chicago Blackhawks. And then they've got Vancouver again. So there's some big games coming up here in the next 2 weeks for the Los Angeles Kings. If they can get through that storm, they should have a pretty easy ride on the way out. Their last 3 games of the regular season are against the Edmonton Oilers, the Calgary Flames, and then the San Jose Sharks. And the San Jose Sharks are free-falling. And before we run out of time, where did I personally pick the San Jose Sharks? Are they on my list, Sean?
Let's see. You were talking about the
Pacific Division out west.
Pacific Division. Ron, let's see. I'm taking a look here at the Western Conference. Keep going, Ron. I got to see if I can find it for you.
Okay, anyway, San Jose is free-falling. Last night in Winnipeg, Jeff, you would have loved this. This was old-school hockey. The fans in Winnipeg are nuts. They're absolutely nuts. Now, you heard some of the turmoil about Joe Thornton and his general manager got into a Twitter war. Well, last night in Winnipeg, the fans are chanting, "Who's your captain? Who's your captain? Who's your captain?" as loud as they could for minutes on end. You know that's going to eat up Joe Thornton.
No, you didn't have the Sharks on your list there, Ron.
I didn't think so, because San Jose is notorious for falling apart at the end of the season. A lot of times they're in a playoff spot, and then they're out in the first round because they've fallen apart. This year, Jeff, the San Jose Sharks are on the outside looking in and don't look like they're going to make it into a wild card spot, let alone into a guaranteed spot in the Pacific Division. So San Jose is due for some major overhaul in this offseason.
I'm sure they are. And on that note, we're getting the flock out of here. I want to thank everybody for hanging out with us. That's our week of shows. Remember, we're taking off the next 4 days. We'll be back on Monday for a whole week of shows. Until then, my friend, enjoy your sports weekend. For Sean Mann, Ron Gallo, I'm Jeff Escal. This has been Sports World Radio. Remember, you only have one life to live. Live it long, live it strong, and live it proud. And please don't forget, life may suck, but the alternative is unacceptable. Peace out, everybody. We will see you on Monday. Take care. Bye-bye. Adios.
Later.
Bye-bye.
Hey, boys, Stimpy. We sure had fun today, kid. So long, kids. Come on, Stimpy. Say goodbye.
Where are we going?